All right, this is standard 30, which is writing an equation from point-slope form to slope-intercept form. Okay, let's talk about the difference between the two before we start. So point-slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Slope-intercept form is the one that you're used to. That's the one we've been graphing. Y equals mx plus b. So today we're going to take slope-intercept form, or I'm sorry, take point-slope form and turn it into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is great for graphing. That's why if we're given point-slope form, we want to just go ahead and change it into slope-intercept form so that we can graph. Couple reminders, m equals slope in both of the equations, and x sub 1, y sub 1 in point-slope form is just a point on the line. If you were to write those as an ordered pair, they would be a point that lands on the line. Okay, so here are the steps that we're going to take. We're going to 1, distribute, 2, reduce any fractions down to whole numbers if possible, and 3, add or subtract the y sub 1 to the other side. So jot these steps down so that you have them ready to go. Example 1. So again, we're going to turn it from point-slope form that it's in right now into slope-intercept form. So copy down the example before I get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is distribute. Distribute the number that's on the outside of the parentheses. So we have y, I'm going to bring everything down, plus 3 equals, I'm going to multiply my negative 2 times both the x and the negative 5. So we get negative 2x plus 10. And reduce any fractions, but obviously there's no fractions here. So our last and final step is to subtract this y sub 1 term over. So we got minus 3, and the reason we're subtracting, of course, is because it's a positive 3. So cancel it out. You want y by itself over here on the left side. So y equals, we're going to bring down our negative 2x, and then 10 minus 3 is positive 7. So that is now into y equals mx plus b form, or in other words, slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and graph this just to do a quick review of graphing. So we started our y-intercept, which is our 7. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm positive 7. My slope is negative 2. In other words, negative 2 over 1. So down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and so on. And I can go up 2 and left 1 and get a point that way. A nice straight line all the way across the graph. All right, example 2. We have y minus 5 equals 1/3 times x minus 9. Okay, again, it's in point-slope form, and we want to switch it into slope-intercept form. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute this number on the outside of the parentheses, and it is a fraction, but don't let that scare you. Slope is a fraction a lot of the times. So we're going to bring down our y minus 5 equals 1/3 times x is just 1/3 x. 1/3 times, this is a minus 9, so in other words, negative 9 is, when you multiply fractions, just a quick review, we multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. If you remember, 9 has nothing under it, so there's really a 1 under that. So multiply the tops to get 1 times 9, we get 9 over 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, and again, I brought down my minus sign. So I have, and our next step is to reduce any fractions that we can reduce. So we can't do anything with this 1/3, but obviously negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. So y minus 5 equals 1/3 x. And again, negative 9 divided by 3 is minus 3. And our last and final step is to subtract this y sub 1 term over. So, well, not subtract this time, we're going to add because it's negative. So we want to cancel it out. So plus 5 plus 5. So y equals, I'm going to bring down my 1/3 x, and then negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2. So it is now in y equals mx plus b form, or in other words, slope-intercept form. So now that we have it in slope-intercept form, we're going to go ahead and graph it. So of course we start at our y-intercept, which is positive 2 in this case. So we're going to go up 2, put a point. From there, it's a positive 1 over 3 slope, so I'll go up 1, over to the right 3, up 1, over to the right 3, up 1, over to the right 3, and then I can go down 1 to the left 3 to keep some points in line, down 1 to the left 3, and so on. And you're going to be nice and careful to draw a nice straight line all the way across the graph, and there you have it. All right, example 3. So this one, we are going to, again, distribute out the slope to both of those. So we're going to bring down our y plus 2 equals negative 2 over 5x. And negative 2 over 5 times negative 5 is positive 10 over 5. Remember, this is over 1, so multiply the tops, you get 10, multiply the bottoms, you get 5. We're going to reduce any fractions we can reduce, so I'm going to bring down my y plus 2 equals negative 2 over 5x plus 2, because 10 divided by 5 is 2. And our last step is to move this y sub 1 over, so we're going to, we're going to go ahead and subtract 2, because it's positive, cancel out, subtract 2, and notice those cancel out as well. So we have y equals negative 2 over 5x. And here, this is slope-intercept form. If you remember, my y-intercept would be 0. It would be a plus 0 there. So I'm going to start at 0. And it is a negative 2 over 5 slope. So I'm going to go down 2 and then right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put my point. I'm going to do one the opposite way to keep some points on the graph this way. So I'm going to go up 2 instead of down and go left 5, 4, 5. And there we have it. Draw our nice long line, nice and straight using your ID. And there you go. All right, go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own, and then press play to check your answers. Okay, so on number 1, you should have brought down y minus 2 equals, and we're going to distribute the 3 out, so 3x minus 15. And the last step is going to be add 2, cancel out, y equals 3x, negative 15 plus 2 is negative 13. And there it is, and y equals mx plus b form, so you're done. All right, the second one, we're going to distribute out this negative 3 over 2 to both of these. So we're going to bring down our y minus 6 equals negative 3 halves times x is negative 3 over 2x. And then negative 3 over 2 times negative 6, or in other words, negative 6 over 1. When we multiply the tops, we get positive 18, and multiply the bottoms, you get over 2. Okay, next we want to reduce any fractions down that we can. So we're going to bring down our y minus 6 equals negative 3 over 2x plus 18 divided by 2 is 9. And our last and final step is to move the y sub 1 term over, because we want y by itself. So plus 6, y equals negative 3 over 2x, and then 9 plus 6 is 15. And there it is, and y equals mx plus b. All right, bring your notes and any questions you have to class tomorrow.